Hello and welcome. I'm Trip. Welcome back to another K24 FOS build video. In this episode, we're working on wiring and some of the other plumbing. Just start tidying things up. Start slowly putting things together. I'm not sure how much on this video I'm going to actually get done. Guess we'll find out at the end. But if you're not caught up, watch some of my other videos to see what I've done already and how to do those things. But I think in this one, I'm going to start off with the wiring. Trying to do as much stuff underneath the manifolds, and that's kind of in the hard to get areas. Get all that stuff done first before I start putting like the intake manifold and the header on. So first, I'm going to focus on the wiring harness. This big boy is the Kpower 86 harness. Everything's pre-pinned, no cutting required. It plugs into your factory FOS 86 harness. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to start working on getting in much of the stuff that's down here as I can. Okay, it's pretty obvious that the giant plug goes with the other giant plug. Once you got your big harness in and locked down, the longer portion of the harness, we can throw it over here for now. We don't need it right now. I don't think anything goes here. Now, take your shorter strand. It should be a small plug. I think this is your knock central, which is down here behind the starter. And then this little guy is a single wire with a little loop coming out. That's your AC harness. Goes to your AC harness, which I do not have AC. Sad. So I won't be using that one. Next is this kind of fat 4-prong one. That is your alternator. Then you have these other three. The big ones can go to your throttle body, which isn't on yet. I think this is your map central. And this one goes to this can be a sensor on your actual intake. Now this would be a good time to put your cam sensors back in. There's two of them that go back here behind the head. I took my valve cover back off to make things a little easier. Once you got your two cam sensors in, do a 10mm, got them screwed down, you can start working on this long strand. Ignore this one for now. Go to your next three. The first one with the 3 wires will go to your first cam sensor. Then there's a 2-wire one that should go down to your coolant sensor down there. And then there's a ground. So I need to figure out where that one goes. I'm not sure yet. I think it might go to the valve cover up here. Okay, I got my cam sensor plugged in, my coolant sensor plugged in, and to be honest, I wasn't 100% positive where the ground goes. The instructions are very vague on the wiring, so I put it there on that 10mm bolt next to the passenger side cam sensor. Not sure if it's supposed to go there, or maybe it goes on the valve cover here. But things don't run right later, that's probably why. Okay, next, farther down the stream is another 3-wire connector, and that is your other cam sensor. And I also put on that clamp It goes to the other 10mm bolt next to your driver's side cam central. So it's clamped down, nicely secured. Now for the rest of them, I gotta put the valve cover back on because these go to my core packs. But before I do that, I'm gonna mess with this coolant hose going to the heater core. So it's kind of tucked in this corner. I want to get that stuff taken care of before I put the valve cover on. Are you here to help? Are you gonna do the rest of the wiring for me? Or put that valve cover back on? No? Well, let's walk away. So the Kpower kit did not come with anything for the heater core. Apparently that was an additional add-on they had to pay for, which I didn't know. That wasn't in the kit. So I'm going to see what I can make do with what I have. I think both of these are from the 86. I know this thing is. And I bought a 5/8 bulb to connect one of these to what's already on the engine. To this, so I just need this to go to that. I want to show you what I have so far. I got that 5/8 bulb here connecting this hose going straight to the heater core there. I got this valve from this core right here. So now I gotta get from here to the intake manifold. So I'm gonna have to loop around and back in. Okay, I have my manifold temporarily on. It's gonna come back off. So I want to make sure I have the right length of that hose and direction. You see I have it kind of looping back around to the bulb down there on the intake manifold. I don't have the clamps on it yet, but I think that would do just fine. It's not bad considering these are the ports that were already on this car, and some of it was already on the K24. So just match them together and buy that 5/8 bulb adapter, which I can throw a link in the description of what size it was if you want. And it didn't work out. Just make sure none of your lines are kinked and preventing coolant flow through your heater core. As good as that looks, I gotta take it back off because I did forget to do one thing. I forgot to put the bolts back into the sway bars. Remember when I disconnected the sway ball? That way I can get more room. And you put those bolts back in. Okay, my sway ball is connected back up. It's not gonna go anywhere. Pretty sure I got everything buttoned up that's gonna be hiding underneath the intake manifold. So maybe I can put that bad boy on. First, need a new gasket. Okay, my shiny new intake manifold is on. And I got it torqued. See, this little guy goes there. The 3-wire goes to my map sensor here. The big one goes to my throttle body. This goes to the intake that I haven't put on it. So since I was having so many issues with this little guy on my other manifold that has my fittings in it, I'm gonna see if I can get this guy out, pulled out. So I think it's just kind of pressed in there. Let's see if I have any luck.
Two hours later.
That took a lot of persuading, a lot of wrenching up and down my vice grips. Even that wasn't enough. I had to grind off part of it on the inside. This bit essentially drew the inside of it like that and weaken the wall of it before it would pull out. First out idea is to take this bulb. I'm gonna grind down these ribs so it will fit in here. Then I'll press it in, put a bunch of RTV or something on it to seal it. I got that hammered in. I got it sealed, put a little hardening bond in it, and pretty much hammered it in now. So it's nice and tight. It doesn't move at all. So it should be good. Okay, my idea with this, not only doesn't stick out as far, it's still usable as a vent if I need it. Which I'm thinking about. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research to make sure it will work. Is the PCV valve here from the crankcase ventilation. It used to go to the intake. A lot of people will block it off or just run it to atmosphere. You'll dump any type of oil residue on the ground. I don't want to do that, so we either need to run it to a catch can or run it back into something. So I'm just going to run it back into the vent and then use these to catch all my oil. You know, I was going to go ahead and put that valve cover on, but I've decided against it. I'm going to wait on it because there's a few things I still need to do, like paint and stuff. Of course, that would take time to dry, cure, so I went ahead and do the other one on temporarily to get things going, get it started. Then I'll swap them out later. That way I can start hooking my wire harness back up. Well, up because it was never hooked up to begin with. First thing you want to do is hook up your coil-packs. They're all in order. Kind of hard to mess this one up. If I can get it to go on. Coil-packs are hooked up. If you don't know, there's gray tape on the wiring harness at a few places, like here. That's where these clamps go. On top of the tape. This one will screw in here. This one back here will screw in this hole. There's a ground. The ground will get grounded to this post. You know, a lot of the wiring is pretty self-explanatory. The next one goes to your VTEC solenoid. Let's see, next one should go to where that thing is. I was a little confused about this one at first, but the last one goes down here. Crank position sensor. So this one I was like, that doesn't fit. But the kit comes with a other sensor, a Mazda sensor. But I'm going to take that one out and put this one in. My new oil pressure sensor is on, plugged in. Next on the wiring agenda is there's a little tiny sub harness, little injector harness. We'll plug into your injectors. Pretty common sense. And there's another plug that we set to the side earlier down the abyss, so I gotta find it. There it is. This little guy. This plugs into that. That plugged in. That in, that in, that in. Those are in. I don't really like how that sticks up though. I'm sure there's a way to get it to lay down a little bit better. Okay, I got most of the engine bay buttoned up, all the wiring done, and there's not a whole lot left. Some of the major things that's left is the cooling system. I have to throw the radiator in, run my hoses, my exhaust, my drive shaft, shift linkage has to be hooked up, and my Haltech ECU. So some more ECU wiring things need to be done inside the core. But mostly a bunch of small things. Oh yeah, I almost forgot fuel. I gotta do fuel. This is just running some lines and plugging some stuff. So not a whole lot to do in the big scheme of things. So come back to the next video for that stuff. But that is it for my K-swap video. I got a lot done. Feels good to be this far along in the process. And every new part I throw on just gets me that much closer to the end. So maybe the next episode, maybe we can get started? Maybe? Guess we'll find out then. But until then, take it easy, don't do anything I would do, and peace out.